Here's the iPhone X, a refined Apple product that fits in with all of the futuristic flagships around. And here are some of my thoughts now that I've used it. If you look at the iPhone X, its form factor is very similar to that of the iPhone 8, which I love. The phone's quite compact and usability one-handed is great for me, though unlike previous iPhone upgrades, this one's chunkier and heavier. In spite of this though, the camera module still protrudes a fair bit outward, which is something I don't particularly like. Surrounding the iPhone X, you'll find this metal chrome color band, which to me seems less than appealing. It picks up smudges very quickly, just like the glass back of the phone, so I'd recommend a case or skin for protection. Now, one of the major selling points of the iPhone X has to be that display. It's an OLED panel at Quad HD resolution for the first time, and Apple calls it the Super Retina display. When I looked at the screen for the very first time, it literally popped, and I liked the bezel-less look of the screen. But in doing so, Apple's left a huge void. The home button that was found on every iPhone prior to this one is now gone, and the iPhone X has a bit of a learning curve associated with it. You reach the notifications by swiping down from the left side of the notch and the control center from the right side of the notch. Switching apps is also a swiping motion from the bottom side of the screen. I feel like you can easily get used to this new navigation system, but not so much to the lack of Touch ID. With the iPhone X, Apple's ditched Touch ID completely in favor of Face ID, whose technology resides at the rather unappealing notch at the top of the phone. Setting it up is fairly easy, and accuracy and speed haven't been a problem so far. Just that swiping up after the phone's been unlocked seems like an extra chore, which I hope is fixed via a software update very soon. All that being said, the notch is also the main reason to disrupt the user experience on the iPhone X. Every app has to be programmed to take advantage of the extra ears at the top of the screen, and if the app isn't, you're stuck with huge bars off to the side of the phone. It's quite surprising Apple even decided to go with this kind of design, and when you're watching YouTube videos on the iPhone X, it looks just like an iPhone 8, complete with the bezels. And I won't really call the extra functionality the cutout brings as top-notch either, pun intended, because it really misses the point. Animoji is a new feature similar to what we find on Snapchat for sending texts, which is fun, but I don't see myself using it more than a few times, whereas portrait lighting mode for the front-facing camera is also a very unique feature, but is far from ideal, especially when you don't have the right lighting conditions. So to brush up, let me talk about the camera. The iPhone X sports dual 12 megapixel sensors on the rear, which I've barely had time to use. I took some pictures to compare with the Note 8 though. The X adds a lot of contrast to pictures compared to the Note 8. When using portrait mode or live focus on the Note 8, the X struggles considerably over the Note 8, whereas when taking selfies, again the X's higher contrast kicks in over the Note 8's slightly softer and brighter image. But that's everything I've noticed about the iPhone X so far. Considering its 4,000 dirham price tag, to me it seems a bit like a glorified iPhone 8 Plus, and Apple's late attempt to stick with the competition, design-wise at least. Things like the Apple A11 processor, the True Tone display, IP67 water and dust resistance, and wireless charging are all on the X, which they all were on the iPhone 8 as well. So it will be interesting to see how the device fares after a few weeks of usage, and whether my opinion on the iPhone X changes after that. As always, if you've missed our recent videos, check them out and subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.